Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here with Honeybee Stamps, and today we're going to be making a card using a few products from the new spring release. We're going to be using the Basket Weave Slimline card, the Spring Joy Bouquet along with the matching dies, and also the layering lily dies. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do, and we're going to be using a variety of paper. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and get the lilies cut out. I'm going to actually cut these out 3 times, but I believe I only show you once in the video here. I'm going to arrange these onto some cardstock and go ahead and get the layers die cut out here. I'm just rearranging them so I can save as much paper as possible when I'm trying to cut out 3 versions of this. And I'm going to go ahead and get those taped down, and then I will go ahead and put them through the die cutting machine. Once they come out, actually I do show you a second time here. I'm just running it through the second time, and then I'll do it a third time, and then we will get started with making the lilies. So now I have them here. I have all the layers, and we're going to go ahead and get started coloring these. I'm going to use Distress Oxide Spin Sugar here. And basically I'm just shading the petals here of each layer of the flower. And I'll just get a good shading on them. And then what I'm going to use is a gold Sharpie. And that's what I'm going to use to do the little dots that are on the lily. And I'm just going to go in different areas and put little dots all around. And just fill in wherever I feel like they need to be filled in. And then we're going to go ahead and do the next layer. And I'm going to do some shading there as well. And I'm going to use a little less shading on this because we want a little bit of the white to show through. I like that. So now we're going to go ahead and do the bottom part here, and we'll go ahead and get that shaded in. And now we're going to use the gold Sharpie and then just put a bunch of dots in the other areas of the petals here. Now, as you can see, I'm going to put this together. I'm gluing it one by one using some honeybee glue here. And you can see I've added a little dimension by folding up the petals of the second layer. I'm also going to use my gold Sharpie and go ahead and do the last little layer of the petal here. I'm going to go ahead and get that glued down. And then we'll go ahead and move on over to the stamen, or the middle part of the flower. And basically how I'm going to do that is just use 2 different colors of green here. And I'm going to cut those out. And I'll also die cut them, as you'll see here in a second. I'm doing a light green color. I guess you would consider this like a Granny Smith apple maybe color. And then I'm using a dark green, and I'll just put those through my mini die cutting machine to get those cut out. That's what's cool about this card, is the flowers were all done through the mini die cutting machine, so you don't have to have a big machine out to do it. I'm going to use my Honeybee Stamps glue here, and we're going to go ahead and get the outline, or the top of the stamens, glued onto the bottom part. And then we'll go ahead and get this little guy glued to the flower. And then, as you can see, this is the flower, and this is before I put the leaves on it. But I think it's super cute. You could do all different kinds of colors, and tiger lilies and all that. All those different types of flowers. I just decided to do a pink and gold one because that's what I was in the mood for, and that's what I'm going to do. And here you go. There's a close-up of the flower. Now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and cut out the leaves. I decided to use one of each, which is the one that kind of looks like a palm frond, but it's not. I don't believe. They might be palm fronds. Not for sure. I believe they are. But anyway, we're going to use them as background leaves for these flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and get those all die cut out through the mini die cutting machine. And then what I'm going to do is just place these on the back, and then grab my tube of glue and go ahead and get those glued onto the back. And these leaves make it really pretty. I believe it like adds a touch of fancy to the flower here. Look at that, so pretty. I love it. Next thing we're going to do is cut out the panel for the Slimline card. We're going to be using the woven basket die cut here. And basically we're just going to cut this out of a plain white piece of paper. We're going to go ahead and stick that through the die cutting machine. The reason I love this die is because it fits on your die cutting plates. You don't have to do any movements. It goes all the way through with no issues. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to use tumbled glass, and we're going to put some blue behind these flowers. And I'm just using the blending brush here, and I'm spreading this into a circle. They're just going to be behind the flowers to give it a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to add a little bit more here, and then I'm just going to do that under all 3 of the flowers here. Then I'm going to finish that up. You have to be a little gentle with this because this does cut deep into the paper. It kind of gives it a, if you wanted to, you can give it dimension, and it could look like a basket if you wanted to, like pop it up in some areas. But I just did it really lightly so that I could go ahead and get the flowers placed on there. Now I'm going to cut out the black mat. You guys know I love a black mat behind pretty much every card I make. I don't know why. I'm just really in love with it. So we're going to go ahead and get that cut out. And then we're going to go ahead and get this woven basket glued onto the black mat here. And it just gives a little touch of fancy, I think. Like, it pops off the card. You can definitely tell it's a different layer. It's super nice looking, and I really, really like it. So after we get that onto the black cardstock, we're going to go ahead and take the flowers, and we are going to pop those up with some 3M foam tape. I'm going to go ahead and get those all covered with foam tape on the back, and then I'll go ahead and get those release papers off of there so we can get it glued onto the Slimline card here. There I am removing the release tape, and then we have all the flowers onto the card, which just this by itself I love. It's pretty. You could just leave it like this, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and get a sentiment on there. So I'm going to use some light blue cardstock here, and I'm going to go ahead and use some clear sticky ink, and we are going to do some white heat embossing. The sentiment here says "Hello Spring." We'll go ahead and make sure that that's nice and sticky, and we'll go ahead and get the powder poured on there, and we'll go ahead and get that heat embossed. Now we're going to use the matching die to go ahead and get that out. I love Honeybee Stamps sentiments with their matching dies. It just makes this process so much easier. You don't have to fussy cut it out. It just works, and it's perfect pretty much every time you take it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this sentiment. I want to place it along the bottom of the second flower here, and I'll just pop this up with some 3M foam tape as well. Now I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you head over to Honeybee Stamps and check out their spring release, and a lot of amazing stamps and dies and just all kinds of creativity over there. Just check out all the artist work that they've done for Honeybee Stamps. It's really nice. We are going to put this on a cardstock cut by 9. It's 9 by 8, and then folded at 4 inches to make the card. Make sure that you guys check out Honeybee Stamps on Instagram, and then also you can check me out by searching for Bromero Cards on Instagram and YouTube as well. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get this folded out, get the bone folder and fold it, and then we'll end up gluing it onto the cardstock, and it'll be done. Thank you guys for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for supporting Honeybee Stamps, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.